Hey guys, welcome to Wrestling Daze and welcome to today's Smackdown review. We're going to go through everything to do with Smackdown. Hopefully it's not going to take us too long. There wasn't tons on this show, but it did still feel like a show that was worth watching. I was very entertained. One thing we're not really going to talk about is Nightbirds, and the reason for that is because I've just done an hour-long deep dive into this week's QR code. It's on the Wrestling Daze channel. I think you'll really enjoy it if you've not seen it. We really do try and make sure that everything that was in that QR code has been investigated, has been answered. We've got theories and thoughts for everything, multiple theories and thoughts for everything. I think it's about as comprehensive as you can get at the moment, right? I'm sure there will be more theories and thoughts that pop up over the weekend, but as of right now, I'm really pleased with it, and I hope you enjoy it as well. So, as a result, I don't have much to add here, but we did get a QR code. It dropped about half an hour before the end of the show, and it was great. I mean, it was really rich, lots of stuff to investigate, and they continue to kill it. In regards to the show, we started with this. This was Bianca versus Tiffany in a match that we didn't know if we were going to get it or not. And the reason for that is because Tiffany put a post out. The post was her hitting Jade from a match. And the moment she hits her, you can hear a voiceover say black and a word that rhymes with witch, right? As Tiffany hits Jade. Now, anything that's going to put a focus on race is obviously going to make people uncomfortable. You know, it's unnecessary. But to be honest, I think she did it and she didn't think about it. I'd like to think that she regrets it, right? I don't think she's racist or anything like that. But I can understand people questioning it and feeling uneasy about it, right? So, and then, of course, maybe it would have blown over. But when WWE released their official preview, right, for this week's SmackDown, this match was not on there. So people all of a sudden said, oh my God, they've pulled it. And Tiffany's in big trouble, right? Then word came out, no, Tiffany's fine. She's not in big trouble, right? Tiffany's fine. But Montez had actually changed the bio of, I think, his Instagram account and changed it that he was a father of 2 to a father of 3, right? And all of a sudden then people were like, oh my God, they've pulled it. Because Bianca's pregnant, and then these big Bianca is pregnant rumors started going around, and it's all come from Montez's bio, where he just changed how many kids he had. Before he was a father of 2. Now it says he's a father of 3. Now, to be honest, I haven't heard any update on this. All I know is we got the match. I actually don't know at what point when you're pregnant should you not wrestle. That is not a question I have ever asked myself, but I would imagine it would feel to me like the moment you find out is when you stop wrestling, but that just might not be true. I mean, it could be a case that you're perfectly fine to wrestle until the baby, the fetus, reaches a certain point, right, in its growth. And so maybe that is 2 months down the road, 3 months down the road. I don't know. I'm not a woman and I'm not pregnant. So it's very hard for me to say, right? So I don't know if Bianca is pregnant or not. I would obviously right now after seeing this match would lean towards no. She picked up the victory, Bianca. It was a great match. It got This Is Awesome chance. She wins with a KOD. You lot gave it a great rating, great 66. You so enjoyed it. So that was a monster score. But afterwards, they spoke to Bianca and she said her knee is not 100%. And that feels to me like we're really getting an excuse as to why she needs to go away for a bit soon. Maybe because she's pregnant, right? Or because an excuse because next week she's going to lose to Nia. Right? Or is she going to get to King and Queen of the Ring and lose in the final? And we're going to blame the knee injury. It feels like this knee injury We're definitely telling that story now because something's going to happen with that. So her knee is not 100%. That is what she said after, and she would mention it later again in the show. Backstage, we got Logan and LA Knight, little confrontation, and I got excited by that because I think that's a match we're getting. I really think that's a match we're getting. I really think they're on a collision course. I expected them to face at WrestleMania because, to be honest with you, LA Knight feels like the person that should get that belt off Logan, right? He is red hot. Babyface, everyone loves him. People hate Logan. They boo him out of the state, out of the country, right? Off the planet. So you've got a monster babyface, you've got a monster heel. It's just all there for you. It's perfect. It's going to be brilliant. So he feels like the one. So this little moment that we got backstage, I kind of feel like that's WWE's way of saying, it's going to be okay, right? It's going to be okay because something would happen with LA Knight later that people were not okay with. So we got that. Backstage, we had Bianca and Jade. They shared a friendly little moment as they were talking about, well done on winning, Bianca. I'm going to need everything working if I'm to face you next week. And it was Jade that said, let's take it a step at a time. But they were already having a little bit of friendly banter as they were looking forwards to potentially a match between the two of them next week. We just needed Jade to win. And then next week would have been Bianca versus Jade, Queen of the Ring, semi-finals. So we had all of that. We also had a moment where Paul Heyman was backstage with the Bloodline, and I think Paul asked, have you spoke to Roman? And Solo just sort of scoffed, and he said, all the time, and then walked off. I mean, it definitely feels like he's lying. He was laughing his head off, and it definitely felt like he was lying. And also, Tonga did a yee kind of a noise. Yee. It was so strange. I mean, that really took social media by storm, and rightfully so. I don't know. I've seen people tagging me in like Tatanka, Native American cheers and all this kind of stuff. It was very strange. It was very weird. But definitely something that the moment he did it, you knew that was going to play well on social media, right? So this then got us to our next match. So Bianca progressed. And then we got this as well, yeah. So LA Knight and Carmelo Hayes exchange words just before our second match. And this was good. This is where Carmelo said, after tonight, they won't be chanting and saying RKO. They'll be saying HIM. Right? And LA Knight turned around and went, oh, look who won the spelling bee, right? And it was good. It was a real good little banter between these two. I wanted to see a bit more. So we got this little moment as well. But that then took us to our next match, and our next match was Tama Tonga taking on LA Knight, and this actually wasn't that long. It got a good 86% rating. And unfortunately, this was King of the Ring. LA Knight was outside the ring. He saw Solo trying to interfere and whatever. And he was like, go on, do something. It was goading him because he knew if Solo hit him and the ref saw, he would win by DQ. So he was like, go on, give me your best shot. I didn't think so because Solo did nothing. So he got in the ring, and as he got in the ring, he got caught. And to be honest with you, I'm surprised that it only took one move, and that was it. He was beaten 1, 2, 3. It kind of felt like a bit more should have been done to put LA Knight away. It kind of felt like he got put away quite easy. And that was a criticism that I had of the Jey Uso Ilya Dragunov match. Great match, hard hitting match, but Jay walked out, and backstage there's an interview with him and his son, and they go to Waffle House. I mean, the guy has just been in the ring with the Mad Dragon, someone that you do not easily earn a victory over. Like, Jay should have been on a stretcher. Jay should have been in an ambulance. Jay should have been not chatting away backstage doing interviews. So for me, that was strange that, you know, Jay winning, fine, is a big star, but it was quite easy for him in the end. And he walked out. And then here, LA Knight gets defeated quite easily. This is definitely something which I think they're doing on purpose to try and protect finishers. It feels to me like they have really started to reduce false finishes and like near falls. It seems like they're stripping that out. So I thought that was quite interesting. But the end result is Tama Tonga wins. So it's Tama Tonga that progresses. LA Knight, of course, losing because really of a distraction, getting caught, and he is out. And this got big boos. It got BS chants. People were not happy about this result. But as I said, I think earlier, that little moment with LA Knight and Logan is their way of saying to you, it's okay. This is going to be the big plan for the summer. For LA Knight, he's going to win this United States Championship. We had a little moment backstage where LA Knight bumped into Carmelo and Carmelo was mocking him for losing. He shoved him and that got a little bit spicy. Then we went to our contract signing. So we were halfway through the show by now. Went to our contract signing. We've got Logan coming out with some, I don't know, cringe tirage. I think I called them on the live stream. And some sort of lawyer as well. Cody came out. And basically, Cody was talking about the history of Jacksonville and war games and all of this. And Logan was like, I'm not interested. I'm here to sign a contract. So he looked at the contract and he was like, this doesn't work for me. And he said, I would face you. I told you I would face you for that undisputed championship. I didn't say nothing about putting my United States Championship on the line. And so he swapped the contracts over. He signed the one, which meant only Cody's belt was up for grabs. And then he chucked it over at him. Nick Aldis got upset. Cody said, I've known you for a long time, Nick. I know what you're like when you're angry, right? Let me deal with this. And so Cody dealt with it. But the way that Cody dealt with it is that he just signed the contract that Logan had just basically presented. So you knew that was going to happen. You knew it was going to be a case that like Cody was not going to outmaneuver Logan. He wasn't going to outsmart Logan. He was just going to sign this new contract. And yeah, he spoke about like wanting to be a Grand Slam champion. And he very quickly abandoned those dreams. Like he didn't really put up any fight for that once Logan had kind of took the United States title out of the equation. So it got us to where we needed to get to. But a lot of this felt a bit unnecessary, to be honest. I think part of the reason we did it is so that this segment had something of significance to it, you know. We found out what is up for grabs in this segment, and it's not the United States title, so... So, there we go. There was a good little reference at the end, though, from Cody. Cody was like, in 8 days, a future Hall of Famer is going to beat a Paul brother, just like very soon an actual Hall of Famer is going to be beating your brother, because obviously it's Mike Tyson, who's in the WWE Hall of Fame, taking on Jake Paul. So that got referenced, that got a reaction, loud Cody chants, loud boos for Logan. There was a bit during when he had the contract where the crowd were chanting, he can't read, which I thought was very good. People saying that the lawyer looked a little bit like Vince. I didn't see it personally. I didn't see the resemblance, but some people were saying that. So there we go. Cody has not done anything to deserve a shot at my United States Championship, which is obviously very ironic. Cody Rhodes is on a rampage. Things are getting heated. Yeah, Cody at the end, you know, there was a bit of a melee. Cody held up his undisputed championship, chucked the United States belt to Logan, who was on the outside, and it kind of ended that way. Right, then we went to our next match. This was Jade's against Nia Jax, who was going to progress to face Bianca. I thought this was tricky as to who was going to progress. You could have made an argument for Jade Bianca on next week's SmackDown because it's in Jeddah. It's in Saudi Arabia. Like, Saudi Arabia spend a lot of money. So I'm sure that SmackDown, they want something for their money. So honestly, that match I could see taking place, but that's not what happens. This got a good 69% rating, and basically Nia goes to use a chair. She misses, Jade gets it, and she uses it, and she hits. Referee sees, DQ. Loud boos, man. People were not happy with this. BS chants again. Loud boos. And, that's it. Jade is eliminated. We even saw Jade's daughter in the front row. So I'm surprised they had her daughter around for a Jade defeat, So she's not undefeated. Her undefeated streak is over. It wasn't really much of a streak, to be honest. She's picked up this DQ loss. It protects her, but it's still... a decision, isn't it? It's still a direction. I'm not sure I would have gone, but either way, Nia picks up the win. She will face Bianca next week. So there we go. Nia Jax progresses. Then we went to our next match quite quickly. This was DIY against Legado Del Fantasma. We had A-Town down on commentary. This is when the QR code hit, right? They also showed us the Twitch footage of that therapist and the Nightbird stuff. That was actually shown during SmackDown. Just a clip of it, right? They are paying attention more and more as we're getting closer to King and Queen of the Ring, which is really interesting. So this got a good 93% rating. It was a win for DIY, but the big talking point here was the QR code. The QR code hit, and as a result, everyone's attention went to that. And then we got to our main event. Main event was Randy versus Carmelo Hayes, who was going to move forwards to face Tama Tonga in the next round. It's a win for Randy Orton in a really fun match. I didn't think that this was better than Bianca versus Tiffany, and it seems like the community didn't either. You lot scored it great, 55%, but it is Randy that picked up the victory. Really good, big main event, big fight feel. Randy versus Carmelo, lots of fun, lots of great moments. Got a bit of time as well. And then afterwards, we got the Bloodline coming out, and Randy was like spitting. There was spit going everywhere as he was talking to them, basically saying that he's going to introduce his foot up Tama Tonga's ass. And he's looking forward to doing that next week. And that's how it ended. No brawl or anything like this. He basically said, are you lot going to try and... attack me or something? He was like, let me introduce myself. I'm Randy freaking Orton. And he says, next week, I'm going to introduce my foot up Tama Tonga's ass. And as you said, he was spitting it out, man. It was good. It was passionate. He was bright red. He was so animated. And that's it. That's how we ended this week's SmackDown. So it took us where we needed to go. There was a few talking points in there. I think Solo Sikoa is lying. I think the Logan segment really didn't need, the removal of the United States title and all of that. But I think it was done to just make this segment a bit more interesting. And to be honest, I didn't think that Logan was going to lose his US title. I also don't think Cody's going to lose his title. So right now I'm looking at it as either Cody winning or it's going to be a count-out DQ win for Logan. Either way, I don't see Cody losing that belt to Logan. I don't think anyone does, really. And so, yeah, it felt a bit unnecessary, but, doesn't matter. It's not a problem. The QR code was really good. Matches here were really good. I think this was really solid, enjoyable, maybe not spectacular. 7. I'm at about 7. 6.75 to 7. I was really pleased with it, so it was fine. It was a good watch. I enjoyed it. I could watch shows like this week after week after week, and I'd be quite satisfied. But this didn't feel like it was the Attitude Era or anything like that. I could definitely understand why people may have watched this and been like, it was a bit dull. I would have liked a bit more, you know. It didn't have the biggest talking points, but I think for me, the QR codes obviously was a massive boost. Some really good action in rings, some really fun promos. I like the Mike Tyson stuff. 675 to 7. That's that, yeah, great. So there we go. Those are my thoughts. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Thanks a lot for watching. Appreciate the support as always. I'll see you again next time. Bye for now.